Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and the channel is The Everyday Card Collector. Today's video we're going to do a card hangout. And when I say a card hangout, I'm just going to show some cards, picked up some random stuff out of the collection, just kind of showing it off. Don't know, I think some of them have been on the channel, but I'm starting to lose track of that after a while as far as what's been on the channel and what hasn't been. But this is going to be more of a hangout. And I'm kind of tipping it off based on the name of the video. Everyone has their own hobby journey, right? So I've been doing a lot of thinking lately as I've been collecting. And if you watch a lot of my past recent videos, you'll see that I've quote unquote I've gone down that rabbit hole, or I'm going this route, or I'm doing this now at this point in time. And I kind of started thinking in depth a little bit, like, what is my journey versus how do people view their own journey and things of that nature. So I figured I'd kind of just chat about that while we're showing cards. Don't want to spend too much time on this, but I was doing some internalizing, if you will, on how I collect and what I'm doing now versus what I was doing not that long ago, and how things have changed and how I see those things happening now. So I'll turn the camera around. We'll take a look at some cards, and the cards are just, a hangout. I always like to show cards, and I'll just be talking about, the quote-unquote journey within the hobby, or my journey within the hobby. So we'll turn it around and let's get rolling on this. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so as I mentioned, I'll grab some cards, but kind of wanted to talk about, my hobby journey, my hobby direction, and how I see it laying out lately. So as I've mentioned on several recent videos, you may have heard me, I've taken the pre-war plunge, I've taken the oversized plunge. I'm looking into other things that have expanded my hobby experience beyond just Golden Era main run or main production run items such as Topps and Bowman. And I think when you start to say that stuff, it almost comes off like, oh, the Topps stuff and the Bowman stuff from the Golden Era 50s and 60s it's not, as cool, or it's not as special as once you go down that pre-war rabbit hole. And I want to kind of make it very clear that I am still collecting that, and I still love that stuff. I brought some of it here. We've got the 59 Hoyt Wilhelm. Beautiful card. And I guess the reason I'm having this conversation, or internalizing it in my head, 58 All-Star Nellie Fox, is because I feel you almost pigeonhole yourself into having to be one thing or another. So I have friends who are one thing, and I have friends who are other things, and I have friends who are much broader collectors. And I am a broader collector. 69 home run leaders. Great card. Three Hall of Famers. I think I've shown this before. Awesome card. But, I have friends who only are focusing on pre-war. I have friends who will not focus on pre-war until they have everything that they want for the Golden Era. I have friends who collect modern and vintage. And I am that guy. And I was initially feeling guilty at first, because what's happening as of late is I'm collecting a lot of pre-war stuff, or trying to at least, and what I'm finding is a lot of my projects that I had set for myself, and a lot of them being 50s projects or Golden Era projects, aren't getting done. And the reason is because I keep veering off to the left. The joke is I have the attention span of a gnat. I've said that several times, and I felt kind of bad about that. And I was thinking I have to pick up where I left off on some of those and focus on that really hard. And then I did a little more thinking, and I said, nah, I really don't. And the reason I don't is because I want to do what I enjoy in this hobby. I am not a completionist. Now, for those who are completionists and very focused, and they have to focus on one thing before they finish the other, I totally get that, and I totally understand that. That is not me. I want to complete projects. And when I say I'm not a completionist, I mean in this hobby. That's different in life, different at work, things of that nature. But in this hobby, I don't want to have to feel like I have to finish one thing before I can move on to the other. And the reason I'm saying that is I almost had like a little guilt trip on myself, feeling, well, I got to get that 56 Hall of Fame run done, and I've got to get this White Sox Hall of Fame run done, and I've mentioned the 59 Hall of Fame run, and I really have to do that. And I really took a step back and said, no, I don't. And the reason I was almost guilting myself into this is because as I'm looking at new stuff that I'm thinking about purchasing, it has nothing to do with any of those projects. Most of it's pre-war. Most of it's oversized pre-war. So that's kind of my jam right now, right? That's the quote unquote rabbit hole I've gone down. And I almost felt like I was putting guilt on myself for not focusing on those other things. And then I kind of sat back, took a step back and said, well, isn't this supposed to be fun, right? I'm not a pre-war collector. I did a video months ago where this is what I collect, and it was everything. And I kind of went through it. I'm not a pre-war collector. I'm not a golden era collector. I'm not a modern collector. I collect everything. What you'll see on this channel most of the time is going to be vintage. I consider vintage 1980 and back. That's just me. 1971 Marichal. I'm rattling off here, just talking off the hip, guys, so I don't want to bore you. I do want to show some cards. So, I will say that my main focus is vintage baseball, but I collect everything. I collect modern. I collect pre-war. I collect basketball. I collect football. 68 Hoyt Wilhelm, awesome card. And a good example of this is someone like John Mangini, very wide collector, has virtually everything. My friend Billy Ballgame, he is really focused right now on the golden era, and he doesn't want to take that plunge into pre-war until he gets everything he wants in the golden era, and for that matter, the mass-produced / junk wax era, because he loves that era, and I think that's awesome. 75 Topps, very cool. Dig Allen Mike Schmidt. So I just wanted to get on here, and I know I'm kind of rambling, guys, so I apologize. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here is, even when you get to Strongsville, a lot of people were buying pre-war. And then I kind of looked at those who were buying golden era, and I was just as happy for them, if not happier than, pre-war is my jam right now. And I thought to myself, we're just collecting, right? We're making too much out of this. There's no need to put things into a box. And maybe I was just doing it in my head. My buddy Vintage on Vintage, Steve, just absolutely killed Strongsville with his pickups. And I encourage you to go check out his videos for what he picked up. Just absolutely hammered that show and had an awesome show and just added so much amazing stuff to his collection. It was phenomenal. And none of it was pre-war. And I was still so happy for him. And like I said, I'm still going to collect golden era. I'm still going to collect modern. But right now, attention span of a gnat, I'm focusing kind of on the pre-war. 61, post serial, blank back, very cool. So I know this isn't really coherent, guys, and I apologize. 78, Robin Yount. But in my head, I was rationalizing, what am I doing? How am I doing it? And basically, I'm doing what I've always done, and it's not a bad thing, and you shouldn't have to feel bad about it. We all try to have like a direction in what we're doing, and you need direction, and you have to focus on this, and otherwise it gets too out of hand. And you know what my answer to that is? I don't mind if it gets out of hand. This is my hobby. If I'm picking up a Shohei Ohtani tomorrow, and I'm picking up a Ted Lyons or a Lou Gehrig in a week from now, that's okay, because that's what I want to do. I know it sounds silly, but you almost guilt yourself into not having a direction, and I'm trying to do. I guess this is my, this is my moment where I'm saying, all right, I'm going to grab a hold of myself here and just say that's okay. So maybe this is my, my affirmation that it's okay to collect the way I'm collecting. I don't know, as I'm rambling away here, but I guess my point is, do what you like to do. Those projects will be there. I got my whole life to collect. I'll get those projects done, and I'll love it when it happens. And right now I'm buying other things that I love, and I love that. And, you kind of rotate. I've heard the word pivot by plenty of people. I'm constantly pivoting, I guess, because I like a lot of different things. So I apologize if I'm rambling here, guys, but I just kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit, get this out there. Get your opinions. You know, do you have a direction in your collecting hobby and your habits? Do you need one? Do you feel you need one? Is it okay to go off and do other things? You know, my buddy Sammy Thunder is a very focused collector, player collector, extremely focused. Non-mainstream issued items, very focused, and he's killing it with his collection. He just showed, I think it was on Instagram, his maze collection, and it's absolutely amazing. I just can't be that focused, and I don't think I ever will be, and I just love collecting what I love at the moment that I'm collecting it. So that's kind of it, guys. We'll finish it off with a couple cards here. Found my box of 71 supers. And you can see these are well loved. I think I've shown the Maze and the Clemente. I bought this box off of another guy in 6th grade for $5. So these were some of the cards that were in there. And I've shown some of the other cards. But we got Brooks Robinson. And again, I don't sell. I don't trade. So these will always be in my collection. These were from my childhood in 6th grade. So there's Rich Allen. Awesome card. Got a little Belton Bill Melton, my guy. Very cool card with the blue White Sox jersey. And Tony Oliva. Little paper loss, little smudges there. We'll put Tony Oliva up there. And I kind of really like this Robin Yount. So we'll put Robin Yount up there on stage as well as we wrap up the video. But yeah, guys, I apologize again if I'm rambling. My collecting journey, you know, I've said it several times, I am a broad collector, but maybe I'm saying this because I was feeling guilty about not completing some of the things I needed to complete. And then I figured, well, you just do them when you do them. You got all the time in the world. Purchase what you like and keep enjoying the hobby. I know it's very cliche, but that's how I'm going to handle it. So, you know, those projects will be here and they'll get done and I'll be thrilled when they are. But that's all I got for you guys. Keep it kind of short, or try to. If you enjoy and like this kind of content, please feel free to like and subscribe. And until the next video, we'll talk then. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.